Hi, I'm Joseph, co founder of the Abundant Culture Fund, and today we're getting ready to analyze an investment opportunity that can help you grow your retirement income in less time with less investment, less risk, and less fees. So, a lot of people don't know that they can actually use small business investing as a way to get to their retirement goal easier, faster, and sooner. And I think it's absolutely the best retirement vehicle because one, they generate more income than any other asset class. And you'll see that later on in this video. And two, if you have the right team in place, it actually has less risk than stocks, bonds, or even sometimes multifamily real estate. So if you take a look at my screen, you'll see a profitable pizza with pizza place with three locations for sale. And the things that stand out to me about this listing so far is the fact that it has three locations. I think anytime you can buy a business that has multiple locations, that means a couple things. One, it means that the business is probably ran as an absentee owner most of the time because you can't be three places at once, which means they already probably have a really great management team in place, which is super, super good. And it says that the business is currently averaging about $150,000 in sales every single month, which is really good. They haven't gotten the information packet done for this business, but I think they just kind of put all of this stuff up as a teaser because they're still making the marketing materials for it. I don't know if that's how their pizza actually looks, but it looks delicious. So let's dig into the numbers, shall we? Oh, and the reason that the owner is selling is because they just have other interests, which is almost all the case, always the case. So it has a asking price of 1.2 million, almost 1.3 million. It has a gross revenue of 1.8 million, almost 1.9, and it has a cash flow of $507,000, which means that their profit margin is not quite 30%, but it's almost 30%. It's probably a little bit over 25, I would imagine, which is pretty good. So let's go over to the fund return calculator and see what this investment looks like if I were to pick it up and what my investors would make off of that transaction. So if you look at this spreadsheet here, I know it looks super chaotic. This is the spreadsheet that I use to analyze different types of business opportunities and get almost all the data that I need in order to make sound investment decisions on the behalf of my fund. But there's a lot of numbers in here that matter to me, but might not necessarily matter to my investors or you as an investor if you were to invest with me. So what I want you to focus on are the numbers that are color coded. If it's not color coded, don't even worry about it. If you want to learn a little bit more about it, you can feel free to reach out to me and we can go over it in depth. But right now, just focus on the color coded numbers. So the first one is 1,289,000 as the asking price. So we put that in. That would be the most that we would be looking to put down for this business because it's the asking price. And assuming that we don't use any financial leverage to buy the business, and assuming that we don't grow the company at all, which most assets you have to grow them in order to see a decent return. Assuming those two things, though, my investors will stand to make 29% return on their money just from the cash flow. Just from the cash flow. That's an amazing return. You give anybody 29% on their money, I'm pretty sure they're going to love you for pretty much the rest of their life because that's just not a common thing to be able to pull off. But in small business acquisition, it happens every single day, all the time. So as far as a what that would look like from a cash standpoint, that 29% would actually equate to $378,000 in actual cash that they would get every single year until we refinance, until they get their money out of the investment, basically. Which is good on a $1.2 million investment. You're getting 378 every single year. Really, really good return especially from a cash flow standpoint. That's just phenomenal. So let's compare this return to the return of most of the other traditional assets that I talked about before: stocks, bonds, and multifamily real estate. I did research. And I did really, pretty in depth research as well. And I found that if you invest in stocks, bonds, multifamily real estate, and you don't use any financial leverage to purchase those assets, and you also don't take growth into consideration, you'll get about a 6% return from the cash flow of those investments. So if you invested $500,000 into those investments, your annual income would be $30,000 off of those investments, $30,000 or less. Now, you can basically invest that same $500,000 into that asset inside of the Abundant Culture Fund and generate a 29% return on investment. And that will actually net you $146,000 in annual income in your retirement, which is $116,000 more than you would be getting with the traditional assets, which is crazy. I like it's a huge difference. There's a six-figure difference between the way you're probably investing now and the way that you could be investing with Abundant Culture Fund in small businesses or even somebody else's fund. I just say Abundant Culture because one, it's my brand, and then two, I don't see too many funds doing this. Actually, I don't know any funds that do the same type of businesses that we do. Um, so that would be a 489% increase, basically meaning that you will make basically 4.9 times more with Abundant Culture Fund in that asset as opposed to whatever most people are investing in traditionally these days. So let's say your goal was to generate $60,000 in income. That means you would have to have $1 million invested in traditional assets in order to generate that $60,000 of income. But with Abundant Culture, investing in assets like the one you just saw, you would only have to invest $204,000 in order to get that same $60,000 of income in your retirement. And that basically means that we're saving you $795,000 that you no longer have to invest in retirement in order to reach your retirement goals. That means that $790,000 that you get to buy a house with, buy cars with, buy boats with, fund your kids' education, your grandchildren's education, your great great grandchildren's education, give to charity, whatever you see fit with that money. I believe that getting to financial freedom as fast as possible is important, not only for you, but the people that you love and the people that you care about around you, because it just allows you to do more of what you love with the people that you love. So that pretty much concludes our analysis for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're somebody who wants to double your retirement income in less time with less investment, less risk, less fees, feel free to reach out to us at abundantculturefund.com. And if you're somebody who is a small business owner and you're just looking to sell your business so that you can focus on that next phase in your life, also reach out to us at abundantculturefund.com. Thank you so much and have a great day.